From the Pasture by Hired Hand is presented by R3 Hilltop Ranch. Located in Chilton, Texas, R3 Hilltop Ranch has been breeding registered Texas Longhorns since 2006. What began as 3 heifers has grown into our current herd, which you can explore on our website at r3hilltop.com. We're passionate about loud colors, longhorns, and docile temperaments, but it's the easy-keeping, low-maintenance traits of Texas Longhorns that initially attracted us and continue to drive our herd growth. In addition to livestock, we proudly offer certified Longhorn beef products. Visit r3hilltop.com/beef to learn more. Thank you for listening and enjoy exploring our ranch online at r3hilltop.com.
Hi there, I'm Molly.
And I'm Jamie, and this is our From the Pasture with Hired Hand podcast.
For 15 years now, we've been proudly helping breeders promote hundreds of thousands of pedigree livestock with our easy-to-use animal management-driven website software.
And let's not forget about Hired Hand Live, where over $1 million worth of livestock is sold online each year.
We're excited to bring you market trends, sales data, advice from your fellow breeders, and stories from the ranch.
Our software makes managing your website and your animals a breeze, so you can focus on what you love.
So let us handle your digital chores while you tune in to another episode of From the Pasture with Hired Hand. Welcome to this episode of From the Pasture with Hired Hand. Today we're visiting the beautiful pastures of lone chimney longhorns at Maxwell Ranch in Glencoe, Oklahoma, home to a growing herd of registered Texas Longhorns. I'm your host, Molly Clubb, and I'm excited to take you on another journey into the world of Texas Longhorn and the breeders who care for them with today's guest, Trevor Maxwell. All right, thanks for taking the time to join me today, Trevor.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, why don't you go ahead and start by telling our listeners just a little bit about your ranch, what it's called, where you're at, some of those details.
Okay, so we are Lone Chimney Longhorns. It's my wife and myself, and we have 2 sons, ages 13 and 10, and we're located in Glencoe, Oklahoma, which is just northeast of Stillwater, probably about 20 to 30 minutes. So we started our little ranch here in 2011 and started getting Longhorns in 2013 and kind of have been collecting them, as we call it, ever since. And we really enjoy it and enjoy the time we get to spend with them and learning more and more about them and going from there. So it's been a wonderful experience so far.
So how did you come up with the ranch name, Lone Chimney? Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so we live in a little incorporated town here. It's about, a mile and a half from us. It's right off Highway 412 and 18. If anybody's ever been on the turnpike from Tulsa to Stillwater, there's a McDonald's there. So we kind of always call it the McDonald's, but they incorporated the town there, and there's a casino and a McDonald's. So that's called Lone Chimney. So we're real close to it. So we just took the name Lone Chimney Longhorns. So
I guess that's better than McDonald's Longhorns, right?
Hey, probably, yeah.
Might be some copyright issues there.
Yeah, maybe. So,
well, you mentioned that your wife and kids were involved. Tell me a little bit about kind of what role each of your family members plays in the operation.
Okay, well, that's the big part is, all of us kind of do our own separate things. If you ask, our 10-year-old is in charge of everything. He's the one that really runs everything. He can tell you the birth date, pedigree of any cow we have, and when their last vaccines were or when they're due, and he kind of thinks he's in charge, but he really loves it. So he kind of helps with things. He feeds and goes. My wife is really the bookkeeper, the organizer, and she does all of the online stuff. I don't do a whole lot of online stuff. I try to stay away from that if possible. So she organizes. She is the one that registers all our cows. She's the one that runs our Hired Hand site and really keeps the operation or kind of operation going and keeping it going smooth. And Jackson's the 13-year-old, we're mostly responsible for keeping the cows alive. So, so far we've done, all of us do our own parts. So it's really good to have our kids and all of us involved in something that we really do enjoy. And we get to spend time together doing things outside, not watching TV or on a phone, outside interacting with the different animals we have. And so far they've all enjoyed it. I'm sure as the boys, as they get a little bit older, they might find other things that kind of distract them a little bit. But overall, hopefully when they get older, they remember the good times we had here.
So do the boys, do they get excited when sale catalogs come in the mail or when there's an event coming up?
Yeah, they do. They do. So we're very limited on what we're able to attend right now. With a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old, we're active in school. They're both active in sports. They're always gone. So we don't have the opportunity like we want to attend a lot of things. The things we do have, we have attended before. They really enjoyed it. Yeah. Oh, Maddox is my 10-year-old. He loves when the catalogs come out. He always goes through and picks out the ones he wants and circles them and thinks he needs those. So yeah, absolutely.
What about do they ever get into online bidding or bidding in person that has gotten you into any trouble or no?
Yeah. So again, we here over the past couple of years, we've not been quite as active as we would like to be. But a couple of years ago, yeah, we would come home if we were doing something that day and turn on the hired hand online sale on our TV and watch the cows go through. And Maddox, of course, it's always Maddox, be wanting to bid on them and wanting to buy them. And we would tell him that the sale was in Virginia, and he's like, it doesn't matter. So, but no, absolutely. They really do enjoy that. We've been to a few events, the Texoma sale about every year, and they always want to buy all the cows. But, of course, money and pasture space limit that. But, yeah, absolutely. They really do. And again, they like the pedigrees and following, trying to put together a herd that they enjoy. So
you mentioned pasture space. Let's talk a little bit about what's in your pasture today. So walk me through in a little bit more detail, kind of your journey of getting started and just where your herd and your bloodlines are at.
So yeah, it really was funny. So we bought our land here in 2011, and we were wanting to put some cows on. So my wife nor I grew up with cows. We didn't grow up her dad had some horses, but she wouldn't consider herself a farm girl. And I definitely wasn't. Both my parents were teachers. We lived in the country, but my dad's far from a cow person. He would rather mow the grass than anything with the cows. So we really had no idea what we were doing. And we wanted some, and we found an online starter package from Texas. And the main reason we bought it was they would deliver the cows. We didn't have a stock trailer. We didn't have anything. And they said they would deliver them for us, and they brought them up here on Christmas Eve. And we bought 4 heifers and a bull. And the lines of that was really Vanizm was kind of the basis of those. And we still have one of them today, that from our original package, and we've kind of progressed and moved and bought from different people and different sales throughout the past couple of years. We were able to have Tsunami here as our bull for, I think we had him for about 1.5 years before we moved on from him. Right now we have a Mr. Happy bull on our cows. It's awesome. He's very well behaved in a small pasture or a small ranch like ours. Bulls that behave are very important. But he behaves. He throws pretty speckled calves. Just does his job, and so we're excited to see. He's throwing a lot of twist in his horn, and excited to see what we can get out of him. So
So you mentioned you think your pasture is kind of small. How many acres are you guys at there?
So right now we own 55 acres here. And then we lease another 180 just down the road, but it's kind of wooded pasture. It's not exactly the best for, raising a lot of cows. So we bring them all back to the house during the winter so that they're closer to put hay and to feed. And I don't have to venture out too far whenever it's time to feed them. But, it's not luscious grassland. There's a lot of trees and thick stuff that limits the amount of protein available for them. So that's kind of where we talk about the limited space at. So.
And how many head are you running?
We're just about 50. And that's about 30 too many for us, really. They multiply and they breed, and we like them all, and we don't want to sell them, and we don't want to sell the moms, and we don't want to sell the babies, and then they multiply. So, but that's okay. I mean, that's the fun part of it. So we run about 18 mama cows, and then we have a bull and Kid Rock, it's not the Kid Rock, it's another version of Kid Rock. We bought him. He's the Mr. Happy Son. We got him in Kansas about 2 years ago. And then we have a good group of heifers I think we have about 20 of them. So right around 45 to 50.
So you mentioned one of the things that you like about having Longhorns is it gets your boys outside, gets them to put the phones down. Is there anything else you have found that you especially love about having the cattle, having not grown up with them?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, they're kind of a little bit like pets where you kind of see their own personalities and you kind of see their own demeanor and how they act, and the ones that have attitudes, ones that are more laid back, and just kind of seeing how they continue to grow and change and things like that. That's kind of always fun to see. We enjoy the seeing their horns, seeing what they do, watching for the twist or any kind of growth that they're going to have. That's really fun to watch. We like to see the size of the horns, but that's not something we're going to do, is put on huge horns, and that's okay. We like what we have right now, and we really enjoy it. We enjoy the pedigree side of it. And that's where we love hired hand is, we're able to evaluate pedigrees and have them at the on the phone, instantly pull them up. And that's very, very handy and a tool that we just use all the time. Probably my wife more than I, but, that's very valuable in what we do. Even in a small operation, we enjoy having the ability to pull up pedigrees very quick and seeing pictures and prodigy and things like that is a very valuable asset. So.
Well, you mentioned that you consider yourself kind of a small operation, and I believe in conversations we've had previously, you and your wife both work full time and your boys are on the go with sports, like you said. How important do you think it is in the size of your operation to have kind of that work-life balance, and be able to feel successful and stay passionate about the cattle?
That's a great question. It's about in my opinion, it's about prioritizing. We prioritize what's the most important thing. And, as we go through this, our kids are only going to be little once. They're only going to go through junior high once. They're only going to go through high school once. They're only going to play sports once. So at this point in time, we're kind of putting that at the forefront and, taking the time to go to their sporting events, to let them, participate in stuff. But when we're doing that, we also find a little time together out in the pasture or feeding or working cows. And we'll say, hey, we're working cows this Sunday, and they know they have to be here and are counted on to help, because as they get older, they are valuable. They help a lot. And, but it is important. kind of figured out over the years, again, we knew nothing about this when we started. We've kind of figured out things. When I say we, I'm my wife and I, as we went along, to be able to utilize things that help us get things done faster, better chutes, better corrals, better equipment, better, and I say better, more efficient. In 2020, I think in 2021, we had a terrible February. It was like negative 10 degrees here. And I told myself that I was not going to go out in the cold again. I'm going to save money, and I bought myself a cab tractor, and every day I go out in it, I'm very appreciative that I have it. And that's just something that it just makes it a little easier. And now, Jackson, my 13-year-old, he'll go put out hay if needed. If I'm running late from work, he'll go get in the cab tractor and put out hay or put out feed or something if needed. Anyway, it's just found ways to make feeding and working cows and things more efficient so that we can do it in a shorter amount of time and not take away from our family time or their sports times or things that's going on with them at school. I've actually taken back over the head baseball job at Glencoe, where we work here, besides my other full-time job. So we're going to get even busier coming up this spring and summer and fall, but that's okay. That's something we enjoy, and we'll continue to spend time with the cows and prosper them and enjoy them and enjoy our time together.
Do you feel like with kind of, learning ways to be more efficient or finding products that work better for you, are all those lessons self-learned, or have you had some mentors or some folks you can bounce ideas off of?
Yeah, a lot of it is self-learned. It's just, you make 1,000 mistakes and you learn how to do it. You figure out the best way to do something, and then you do it that way the next time. There will be times that I bounce things over or off different neighbors or people that I meet at some of the sales and stuff we went to, but a lot of it is just mistakes, being dumb and not realizing things, and then next time you just learn how to do it, and that's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to learn from your mistakes. And the first 3 to 5 years we didn't even have a cow trailer, so we just made it work. And then we got a trailer, and then we started doing some things, and we bought a better chute and bought a feed buggy and just made things more convenient for us. But overall, most of it's probably been self-educated more than throwing ideas off of people.
So I know when your Hired Hand website went live, we reached out to you to see if you'd be willing to be a podcast guest.
Yeah.
And one of the things you stressed is that you really you felt it was important to pay it forward and help educate potential new breeders in the industry. What are some ways that you're doing this, or some key messages that you feel like you want to share with those new breeders?
So we still feel every day that we're new breeders. We don't feel like we're very established, and that's okay. That's kind of good, because we really still relate to the breeders that are wanting to get into the program, or the breeders that have been in and are looking for a little change. And some things that we do, or probably the things that helped us out the most, was usually we'll offer free delivery if it's possible to anybody that wants to buy. And it's not necessarily anything other than we like loading up the stock trailer and making a road trip. It's not about the charge to deliver the cows. It's about getting the cows there and meeting new people and offering something that maybe they just couldn't get the cows. Maybe they didn't have a trailer. And that's what happens a lot of times is people want the cows, but they don't have the ability to get them. And we really don't mind. We enjoy it, actually. So that's something. We also, when we sell cows, especially to new breeders, we want them to feel comfortable in their purchase. We want them to understand that, we're not trying to get rid of cows. We're selling them because we've got to move them. And we will usually offer, some other breeder did this, is kind of where we got the idea. I don't remember who it was, but we'll offer, hey, if you want to sell these cows, we'll buy them back. If you get them within a certain amount of time and you're unhappy or something changes, we'll buy them back. We'll make it right. And, so that they're more comfortable with the sale. Also just talking to them about the different pedigrees and what we like and what somebody else like are often two different things. But again, that's okay. But just talking to them, and this goes back to very basic stuff. I get it, but trying to explain what we know about futurities. We've never participated in them. They're really cool. They're fun to watch. They're very important, but we didn't understand them for the first 5 years. And there's some things we still don't understand, but that's okay, and new breeders are often intimidated coming into either a sale or a futurity or even buying. They don't want to come across as intimidated or unknowledgeable. And I just think just talking with people and letting them know that, hey, you were there, I'm still there. And that's why that's why I was saying we still consider ourselves kind of new breeders as far as the going through the education process of it. But we just try to do things like that. And we're and just like most people, we're a non-pressure sell. If somebody wants to come look, we're just happy for them to come look and enjoy our cows. And if they want to buy one, great. And if not, then, we just appreciate them coming. So just things like that with new breeders.
What's the furthest away that you've ever delivered some animals to some new breeders?
A little east of Dallas. We delivered to, again, I'm not good with names right now, but to a father and a daughter that was, east of Dallas. And the funny thing was, he was like, hey, I've got another cow in Stillwater. Can you swing by and pick her up? Sure. So we went through Stillwater and picked up a different Longhorn for him. We were going anyways. So we picked her up and drove her to Dallas and dropped her off, and then came back up through McAllister, dropped off some cows there, then went up to around Tahlequah and dropped off some cows there and just made a good weekend out of it. So, and it was fun. I mean, we enjoy doing it.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Looking for top quality Longhorns and a taste of true Texas spirit? Look no further than Cantera Cattle Company. Our passion for Longhorns shines at Old Gringo Ranch, where tradition meets excellence. Visit us online at CanteraCattleCompany.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest updates and ranch life fun. Ready to experience it yourself? Schedule your visit by emailing canteracattle@gmail.com. Remember, God is great, Longhorns are good, and life is crazy.
Imagine updating your website and managing your animals at the same time without needing tech experience. With Hired Hand software, it's that easy. Our user-friendly platform is designed specifically for breeders, allowing you to keep your site fresh and your animal records up to date in just a few clicks.
Let us simplify your digital chores while you focus on what you do best. Visit hiredhandsoftware.com and see just how easy it can be.
Do you sometimes feel like you're the only one who doesn't have it all figured out? Rural life can be isolating, but it doesn't have to be.
Welcome to Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, the podcast for women who are craving connection, laughter, solidarity, camaraderie, and just overall encouragement in your everyday life and dreams.
Each week, your hosts, Annalise, that's me, and Courtney will cover topics such as farm life, mom life, making money online, side hustles, hobbies, sharing on social media, jobs off the farm, and so much more.
Us rural gals need to stick together, so saddle up for some fun, real, and unsolicited advice and stories from our everyday farm lives.
Grab a drink, we're Ag's Most Okayest Farm Girls, and we're here to help. Listen wherever you find podcasts.
Well, touching on what you mentioned about futurities, what do you feel like is the most confusing part? Because we hear that all the time as well. Like people have questions about the Calcuttas, which is one part of it, but the futurities themselves, what do you think?
Well, as we've got into it more and more, we actually got in with the ITTLA and helped with, not help, but, participated in the ITTLA futurity that went along with the Texoma. So kind of figured out some of that. But at the very beginning, when we were first figuring that out, I had no idea what it was. What were they looking for? What were the judges trying to judge on? And just trying to figure out, do I have a good cow? Do I not have a good cow? Is it something that I would want to put in there? Or am I just wasting my money putting it in there? And things like that. Again, we have not participated. It's not that we don't want to. We just haven't. We keep being busy, and then we just talk ourselves out of it a lot and stuff. But it's just the overall aspect of what do they judge on? Are our cows worthy? Are they not worthy? We don't want to get in and get embarrassed. I mean, that's truly one of those things that occur. But again, it's some of those questions that new breeders have that we had and still have, and kind of address what I know about those with the new breeders.
So is there anything that you wish you could go back and change from when you got started?
Oh, that's a great question. Absolutely. I would probably buy more with a purpose than kind of randomly. Set a goal for, what you want your program to look like, and achieve and set your purchases towards that. When we were getting started, we'd look at a cow. Oh, we like her. And we would go try to get her, buy her or something. Or all of a sudden we'd wake up and be like, hey, we need to sell some cows, and let's try to sell some cows. And if starting off, I would probably look at setting a goal, trying to get a more organized, structured goal pattern that we're trying to aim our program at. I think that would help us out quite a bit. Again, going back to how green we were when we started, we didn't even register a cow for the first 3 to 5 years. We didn't transfer them over. We didn't register them. We just didn't know what to do. And I mean, there was a ton of great people to help. It was all on us, not doing it. So we were very green. We didn't know. And then we finally decided we were wanting to, and started looking into it and realized, it's not that complicated. It's very doable, and we started doing it and enjoyed it ever since. I got online one night and bought a brand because we didn't have a brand. We hadn't branded a cow ever, and we just kind of figured out as we went, and got registered with the TLLBA or
TLBA
and the ITLA and everybody at those are great to help us figure out. And the best thing we did, and I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to you, was get a hired hand website. That has led us to more people to us. It legitimizes what we have, our cows. It shows people what we have. People can go and browse and ask questions. It's a way of tracking, the pedigrees, the breeding, you do it all, and that is about the most valuable thing that we have. And we, out of everything we talked about, trying to lessen expense or lessen cost, that's one that will never go away as long as we have cows as our hired hand. It's very valuable to what we do. So whether it's 10 cows or, the biggest ranch out there, the hired hand is worth every penny we spend on it. So,
well, that's good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you feel like your site was live before you kind of got that first, inquiry that turned into a sale, or that first lead that really paid off and maybe, paid for the website?
Oh, I don't really know on that. The thing that I'm not sure. The thing that we see the most is people will text us and say, hey, I've been browsing your website. And we don't know who they are. We don't know. Or they'll text us out of the blue or say, hey, what about this cow? Well, I think it legitimizes that, people are really worried about getting scammed. And I think when you do have a legitimate website like Hired Hand and you're paying to keep it updated and things, I think that legitimizes what we have and what we have to offer. And that to us is very important. You know, I don't do Facebook much anymore, but my wife still does. And if somebody's looking for cows, she'll just go post, you know, the link that just shows. And it's usually not the people that posted it, but it's the ones that are scrolling through, looking at that will pull it up and open it up. And then we get the questions from, and that's what's great about it. So I'm not sure on the first sale, but we've had a lot of hits just from posting a website and people looking into it.
So have you all ever put an animal in our monthly sale that you get to participate in as a customer?
No, but that is about the best thing that came around, as far as one of the things that, you know, my wife and I talk about that's hard is finding the people that are most interested in buying Longhorns. You know, there's the people that want the non-registered or the registered. Being able to find the market to sell in is sometimes one of the struggles we have. And that monthly online sale is perfect for that kind of market. We as Longhorn breeders appreciate that you guys offer that. We've talked about it. Again, a lot of things that we haven't done isn't because we don't want to. It's either slipped the mind or we've been busy. But that is a very valuable tool for really, because it's the market. You're hitting the market, and the customer we sure appreciate it, even though we haven't. We're going to, but we haven't yet. So.
Well, I'll try not to nag you too hard, at least on the podcast.
That sounds good. But if you have to, you can nag me all you want. I don't mind.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit. Tell me a little bit about where you see your breeding program in the next 5 years.
Oh, wow. So ideally, in the next 5 years, my oldest son's a 7th grader, so he will just be, you know, into or finishing up his high school career. My youngest son's a 4th grader, so he'll be junior high-ish. Truthfully, I would say, you know, we would like to get down the quantity, but up the quality of our cows. Get more valuable individual cows, you know, so we're not having to feed as many, but we still have the quality that we really like. So ideally, we would like to drop, maybe, you know, get down to 25 cows and really increase the quality. We've got, like I said, we had some heifers that we've actually bought online sales. Those have been the best purchases we've had, even though they've been this couple years ago. But you know, you buy them bred to, we bought one bred to Concealed Weapon. We bought one bred to Rowdy. We bought one that, it's a pretty funny story, but ended up being bred to Jeremiah. And those are 3 of our heifers that we're most excited about. So again, we would like to see quality over necessarily quantity, and just really be able to maintain our herd over the next, you know, 5 to 7 years as the kids go out, as the kids get older and eventually, hopefully, maybe move out. You know, we would like to be more active and go to shows and go to the sales. We really enjoy it. My wife and I went to the Reno sale, and it was probably about 2021. We flew out to Reno and went to the biggest little Longhorn sale or whatever, just the 2 of us as a vacation. And it was a blast. We enjoy it. We hope to do that more often and interact with the breeders and get to know people more. But over the next, you know, 3 to 5 years, it's just going to be more tough with the kids getting more active and getting older.
How about funny Longhorn related stories? Do you have any of those that you can share with us?
Kind of. One of them I was going to talk about the one of the heifers we got that was bred to Jeremiah. So we bought a heifer from Dave Pace in Texas, and we actually bought 2 heifers and brought them up here. And a couple months later, one of them came walking by with a calf, and we were like, what? So, of course, Dave, being super nice, texted Dave, hey, was this cow exposed? He's like, no. And then about 10 seconds later, he said, oh, wait, yes, Jeremiah jumped the fence one night last summer, and I guess we have a Jeremiah calf. So we named her Lucky Night Lucy. So with Dave's blessing, we named her Lucky Night Lucy because we got her as a surprise after one lucky night. So.
Well, I know you mentioned that your wife does a lot of the website updates. Do you spend much time looking at other Longhorn websites?
I used to. I have not anymore, being so busy with the baseball and stuff. I will, on the online sales, go from, the link, go into their website and check out their website as far as the connected from the online sales. But as far as spending a lot of time lately on websites, no. I have not spent a lot of time recently checking out other websites. So,
do you have any back when you were looking at them more frequently? Do you have any that you just had to check?
Yes, absolutely. And the funny thing was, I was talking with Heather, my wife, about this. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk to her about. It was Martese. There was. We loved when Titan Pace had his the ones for sale. We bought some off of that. Of course, Arrowhead Cattle Company has a great website that we go to, and they have all the measurements and stuff listed. But I guess Martese may not be, she doesn't have it anymore. Is that what?
Yeah, I think Marty retired, so she's just not doing as much of the brokering anymore. So
okay,
she was a great service to the industry for a long time.
Absolutely. Those were go-to, and you would just kind of pick up and go to them. And those were the ones that I went to quite a bit. The Facebook, the Facebook aspect of Longhorns is one thing that I still will access. Go to some of like the Friends with Longhorns on Facebook and still utilize that some. I'm not on Facebook anymore, but, when I do get on, it's mostly for Longhorns. So.
Well, I have some rapid fire questions here. Are you ready? Are you up for some of those?
Absolutely.
All right. Which do you enjoy more, morning coffee or evening sunsets on the ranch?
Oh, morning coffee for sure.
Do you have kind of a go-to playlist or song that you like to listen to when you're out and about?
I am an audiobook. So I like to listen to audiobooks when I'm doing something. John Grisham, anything John Grisham is amazing. If I had to do an artist, Gary Allan or George Strait, of course.
What's one ranch task that most people hate that you really enjoy?
I like putting out hay. Part of that is just realizing that I'm fortunate enough to be able to do it the way I can. And before in the past, I wasn't able to have the heat. It was in the cold. So I enjoy putting out hay.
Are you a boots or sneakers guy for chores?
I got to have boots. Yep.
What's one thing you always have in your pocket on the ranch?
It's got to be the pocket knife.
Are you in your dream ranch location, or is there somewhere else you'd rather be?
No, this is it. It's a great location. I mean, if I could own a place in Montana, maybe, but it's pretty good around here.
Who's your all-time favorite Longhorn cow or bull, dead or alive?
I like Hunt's Command Respect.
What do you like about him?
Just his confirmation, just his legacy. I mean, everything that he did. It was kind of the first Longhorn bull that I learned about. Was like, wow, he's, really a legacy, and the offspring that he threw, and just kind of the whole package of him. So.
Well, I feel like we covered quite a bit of ground today. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like the listeners to know or that you'd like to go over? Not really.
We just enjoy what we do. And We're hobby farmers. We do this for fun. It's not our livelihood. And I think it's okay if we just do it for fun and enjoy it and enjoy the people we meet doing it and spending time with family and the animals. And that's what it's about. That's ultimately what it's about. So we do enjoy it and don't regret any of it. So it's been a great time.
One more question here before we go.
Yeah.
How's the baseball team looking?
That's a tricky question. So right now, not good. Not good at all because we don't have one. We've got to go round up some boys. So I coached there until 2017 and then got out of it. And so I coached there 15 years and I got out of it. So the number of boys that are actually playing have went down. It's a very small school. And right now there's only like 5 or 6 boys that want to play. And my kids coming up, they like to play. And heck, I coached most of the kids' parents in high school. I was their teacher in high school. So I thought maybe coming back and doing it could encourage some of them or have their parents encourage them to come out and play. And the goal is to put together a team this year, be more competitive next year, and then a couple years after that, hopefully be more competitive. So,
well, if anyone's listening local to you, hopefully they hear the call, and if they have kids at the right age, they'll be there.
I hope so. It's fun. I enjoy it. I've been out of it for a little bit, but I do enjoy it, and it's the seeing the kids grow and develop and achieve things that they didn't know they could. That is the most enjoyable.
Well, hopefully that works out, and hopefully you get some ranch visitors from today's interview as well.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I know you didn't have to invite me, but I sure appreciate it and appreciate everything you guys do. Y'all are absolutely amazing as far as your service to the Longhorn breeders and for just your customer service. Like you guys you could teach a class on how to treat your customers. Because if we ever have any questions or something, I mean, you guys are always there and do it. And the service that y'all breed with the auctions and the online auctions are very appreciated and really at the forefront of the industry. And we appreciate that. We don't get to go to all of the sales, but we do watch them and keep track and really watch the market through that. You're able to see how the market's doing by the sales, and we watch the sales through the hired hand.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Glad you're utilizing the services.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on From the Pasture with Hired Hand. We hope you enjoyed this visit to Lone Chimney Longhorns at Maxwell Ranch and learned something new about the world of Texas Longhorns. If you liked today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. You can always explore more stories from the pasture by visiting our website or following us on social media. Until next time, remember to appreciate the pastures you roam and the traditions that make them special.